Summon Zyuoh King!
Eagle! Shark! Lion! Zyuoh King!
Hey toy fans, this is Cal from the TF Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the something like that, Sentai Zyuohger. This is of course the main mech, but not really the main mech. This is just the first mech from the current ongoing Sentai series. And it doesn't come with all 5 of the Ranger Zords, or the Sentai Zords, which is, right off the bat, kind of a disappointment. You just get red, blue, and yellow. I'm colorblind for some reason. Which is, of course, the Eagle, the Shark, and the Lion Zord. So, the Elephant and the Tiger are kind of their own things. We'll get into them when we take a look at Zyuoh Wild. But, first and foremost, taking a look at the packaging. It's a lot smaller than most packaging, actually. For a quick size comparison, put those off to the side. I still happen to have the box for Zyuoh King. It's much, much larger. And this is generally like the standard. Oh man, I got ripped. God damn it. This is generally the standard box size for a Sentai mech. Even this one is actually a little bit thin. So there's that. Look how player he looks. Anyway, so yeah, it's a small box. It's not very big. And we can see it shows the gimmick with the sword going in. We'll get into that. It shows the cube. It shows a little thing. It has the logo, DX, of course, on the side. 1, 2, 3. Right here, you've got all of the other fun stuff. It shows, of course, Cube Kidian, Cube Tiger, and Cube Elephant, and of course the 3 that come. Again, 1, 2, 3. Gimmick, 1, 2, 3. And then there's Zyuoh King. And then 1, 2, 3. And then Zyuoh King. And then at the bottom, you got the Zyuohgers. You got the Zyuohgers. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 3, 2. 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then got this 40th Sentai logo. And them in their animal mode. So you got a lot of pictures. There is a lot going on this box for how small it is. That's it for the packaging. Let's take the cubes back. So, what you get in this packaging is, of course, this, which will undoubtedly become the main sword for whatever the final mecha is. And this also becomes the head. You just twist it and the little head pops out. And we can take this and put this to the side, and we can start looking at the individual cubes. Now, I like the cube modes. I think they're kind of fun, kind of cute. They're not too big. They're actually the same exact size as the Morpher, which is also very, very nice and convenient. They don't do a whole lot. You can go ahead and stack them in any combination that you want and create this monstrosity, which we'll get to a little bit later. And that was totally backwards. But for the most part, they're just very basic. I do not like the molded yellow plastic on the bottom and the molded blue plastic on the top of the red Zord. That just looks... I mean, they could have worked around that. I'm not sure why they had to do that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Also, with the one, it doesn't usually sit quite perfect because it's kind of on 2 flaps that form the one, so you do need to like push it, and it should be able to center. That is also a thing. Anyway, taking a look at their animal forms, to transform them, For eagle, all you need to do is take the head and then lay it flat, and then it will automatically sort of pop out. Then you want to take these, and these will form the wings for the eagle. And you got a big hole. And in the show, this is actually like plugged. It looks like a piece of the sword is in there, which is interesting. And for an eagle, it is alright. It's blocky, but I mean, you come to expect that from this season. And it does have some cool little details back here on top. You got the white paint taps. The head itself, not very menacing looking, especially for an eagle. It looks kind of like a deformed toucan kind of thing. It's not very menacing at all. White paint on the top, and you got white and black paint right here on the front, which is, again, very nice. For Sharku, which I think is my favorite, I really like Shark. To transform him, you want to stick your finger, which is what I do, pull it back, and then the fin will automatically pop up. I love that auto gimmick. And then the fin will just kind of pop into place. Take these front halves, and those form the front of the shark. And I like the shark also. It's kind of cute. It's definitely like a little Mako shark. It's definitely a cube, for sure. It retains most of the cube aesthetic and shape, with just adding sort of shark appendages on it. And it works, for the most part. Again, I just don't like that yellow. And it's cute. You got little white teeth and little red eyes, and you got the little fins in there with all the cube and blocky details. And the tail. And another feature I like is it also has more automorphing features. When you put this in, and then you jam the tail all the way in, it does that, which is really cool. So let's do that again. It kind of like goes back. That's super cool, and you got a hole in the middle. So that right there is Shark. I'm going to go ahead and get that back into Shark mode. And last but not least is Lion. And to get him into Lion mode, you just flip that up. And then you basically break him in half, and now he's a cute little lion with his white, pearly white teeth. And he's so fierce. And he is really, really cute. You got a backwards 3. And he's got a butthole. Yay! I love it when they have buttholes. I totally just lost my train of thought. And he's a cute little lion. Look at him. Obviously, they've taken some liberties here, but from certain angles, he actually does look quite good. And I, of course, love yellow on black or black on yellow. It's a really nice color scheme. And overall, it's just a nice little thingy. So there are the animals. Just right there. Look at them. Now, what's next is to form Zyuoh King. And to get into Zyuoh King mode, just from the animal modes real quick, it's super easy. Take a lion, put him back into cube. Take the shark, put him back into cube mode. And take the eagle, put him back into cube mode. Now this is where Eagle's biggest flaws show, is that the automorph gimmick that it has when you pop the head out, it's really kind of a pain in the butt to get back into Eagle mode because of this spring-loaded gimmick. You're not just fighting one spring, you're fighting 2 with the hands. I wish they could have done these on like D10s or something. So you're doing that, and you also need to fit the fingers in there. And this little fin makes it hard. It's not as easy as it should be, to be completely honest. So you got him, and you got these panels right here sliding all over the place. Jeez, man. What a mess. Anyway, so you just want to take them, stack them in reverse order. And we got 1, 2, 3. And we flip them around. And that was perfect. And you take this thing. And you just slide this down, and wait. There you go, and the arms pop out automatically, and you have to pop out the chest manually, which kind of stinks. Then you take this, and you twist the little thing, and thingy-wingy, and there's his head. And here we have Zyuoh King in his combined form, I guess you can call it. I have trouble calling this a Gatai because it just doesn't feel like a Gatai to me. And what you can do actually is, since you've turned the little head, you can pull this little nibbly thingy wingy dingy out and stick it in its hand either this way, or if you want to like get ready to shank someone, you can stick it in this way and be like, yo. You can do that. But generally, you just want to take it, stick it right there, and now you can slash at peeps. And looking at the robot, I like how the yellow splashes onto the blue. I like how the blue splashes onto the red and black. The only thing I don't like is how they kind of forced the yellow onto the blue. I feel like it could have been done if maybe like they had panels that would flip up from the yellow and then flip up from the blue so that you wouldn't have to have the intruding colors on each mech. That right there is kind of the only gripe I have about this, apart from the rest of it. And for articulation, his arms rotate, and if you can, he does have head articulation, but it's kind of like, it's kind of different. You take this, and then he can actually turn his head left and right. But it's not, I don't think it's meant for that. It's just kind of a weird thing to do. So there is that as well. For a quick size comparison, we can see, standing next to Shurikenjin, he actually comes right up to Shurikenjin's shoulder. So he is a small little guy. He is a tiny little guy. I personally think that the size of Shurikenjin is like the perfect size for a Megazord, or a mech. So anything this size, I think, is a good size mech. But we can see he's tiny, but he's not like unrealistically tiny, because standing him next to Victory Robo, he actually gives Victory Robo a run for his money as the tiniest mecha. I think Victory Robo's shoulders sit just a bit higher, but the overall bulk of the head, I want to say, is just a tinge higher than Victory Robo. So it's not the smallest, but it's definitely probably tied for the smallest mech. So, what are my final thoughts on Zyuoh King? And I got a lot of thoughts, so brace yourself, folks. I believe if you were to just have tunnel vision, just looking at this toy, and excluding all of the other mechas that have ever come out, just looking at this by itself, I think it is a fun toy. It's super fun. I love the blocks. I love the gimmicks. I love ripping its spine out. It's just a lot of fun. The issue is when you start comparing it to mechs like Victory Robo, like Deca Robo, it just seems a bit bland and uninteresting. But by itself, it's a ton of fun. It's just, you can take them, you can play with them on your desk. They're like the perfect desktop toy. So again, just looking at it by itself, it's fun. But it has also a lot of issues. The first issue being the front of it is the only actual good visible side. If you look at the side, it looks horrible, and the back looks even worse. So really, you can only display it facing forward. Compare that, again, to Victory Robo, who looks amazing from the side and amazing from the back. Of course, that was a different decade, and Victory Robo is full of die-cast, and it's an amazing toy. This right here is a different generation, but I just wish they could have done something, some detail, to make it look like there was something going on other than just, panel lines and whatnot. There's that issue. The other, and I think the bigger issue, is that this right here isn't all of Zyuoh King. This is just half of Zyuoh King. For the first few episodes of Zyuohger, he's kind of going back and forth between Eagle, Shark, Lion mode, and Eagle, Tiger, Elephant mode. And those are both technically considered Zyuoh King. So this is only half, and I think the fact that they didn't include Tiger and Elefanto, is really disappointing, since you're not actually getting the full Zyuoh King. It would have been nice if they included that, so that you can form both of his combinations, and you didn't have to spend another $40, $50 before shipping. And they could have made, like they did, Gorilla a separate release, so you can actually make the two combined forms, and Zyuoh Wild King, or whatever that's called. So that's another issue. I wish it came with the two. it doesn't, and that's a really big disappointment. The good news is this isn't as expensive as most traditional mechs. I think this comes out to about, I think I paid 4,500 yen on HobbyLink Japan before shipping, which comes out to about $40-ish. So it's not super expensive, at least as far as DX Bandai Japan mechs go. I think that's it for this video review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got a ton more Zyuohger mecha and reviews coming up very soon, so be sure to follow me and check back as I've got more in the works. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.